Hello, gentlemen. I welcome you all to this session. Okay, straight away, I am not going to go by the book. Okay, let us have some ice breaking. I think you might have all watched the movie Pambal Ke Sambandham. Yeah, in that one, there is a dialogue which it used to get repeat. Okay, by the hero Kamal Hassan. He used to say பழமொழி எல்லாம் சொன்னால் புரியாது அது அனுபவிக்கணும். Yeah, okay, that is what the same applicable to this philosophy also. Okay, uh, as per Socrates. Okay, and before Socrates only in theory it was there. After philosophy, sorry, after Socrates, philosophy came into application. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys listened to my previous session. In that one, regarding with Pythagoras, I told you that I learned. Okay, actually, it is not learned, I read, because there is difference between learn and read. Okay, yeah, so as a teacher, I once again come back to the subject. Sorry, I give you this as an assignment. You write in your rough note, in some note, when we meet inshallah in the classroom. You just remind me and show this to me, the difference between learning and reading. That is learn and read, because I use the word from my learning. Actually, it is not from my learning, from my reading, because nowadays in the epidemic what is that period, I am learning lot of things. You can say that before corona and after corona. If you ask me, means I will won't say what is that, uh, BC, that is before Christ, or AD, after death. This is true, is not right one. Okay, it has got total different one, but colloquially we take it as before Christ and after death. Okay, let me come to the point. Because in this corona I am to learning lot of things. As I am learning, I use the word from my learning. Okay, yeah, in a flow, something like a very well. It came in my flow. So it is actually from my reading. Okay, not learning. And the reason also I am giving you that in this pandemic I am learning lot of things. Yeah, because we know that life is a lesson. It teaches us something, and also basically I am a learner. Okay, basically I am a learner in the way, and that I doesn't mean academically. Okay, okay, let me come to the point. So I have given an assignment to write difference between learning and reading, that is learn and read. Okay, good and wise. No need of writing good and wise. I just write about what is it, learn and read, because no one of you questioned. Okay, okay, gentlemen. uh, Now we will go by the book, the reading. Okay, inshallah in this one I will try to finish Plato, Aristotle and Thales. This time, hope inshallah the Almighty help me to stick to my words, that I finish Plato, Aristotle and Thales in this session. Okay, the Plato, it starts like this. Plato was a student of Socrates and was visibly influenced by the philosophical approach of his master. Yeah, Aristotle, sorry, uh, Plato is the student of Socrates. Okay, because Plato's student Aristotle, he is one of the greatest, okay, philosopher. I will give the reason also when we go by the Aristotle. Okay, let me finish out this thing first. Plato. So he is a student of Socrates, and if you see means he is very much influenced by his master by approach. Sorry, by what approach he was influenced is that applying the philosophical what is it, the theory in life. Okay, because of this approach, this man Plato is very much influenced by Socrates, and he accepts, he takes Socrates as his master. Okay, and he becomes the student. Master in the sense, please don't consider that Plato, Plato, yeah, becomes a servant of Socrates, becomes student of Socrates. Okay. But while Socrates was relentlessly occupied with interpreting philosophy based on human reasoning, Plato combined the two major approaches of pre-Socratic metaphysics and natural theology with Socratic ethical theology. Yeah. ரசா இது வந்து அனுபவிக்கணும், அனுபவிச்சாதான் தெரியும். Because I told you earlier in this what is it, corona period, I am learning lot of things. Basically I am a learner and life is teaching. So what I can interpret from my comprehension is that this Plato, whatever the philosophy or theory before Socrates, and the whatever the Socratic or theology, okay, Socratic ethical theology, okay, he combined both these together. Okay, before this man also, he Plato is also is a pagan, there is no doubt. Okay, but here he makes some sort of amalgamation, okay, a combination before the philosophers of Socrates and the Socrates philosophy. Okay, and after Socrates philosopher who came, and he is the what is it, the student, disciple of Socrates, Plato. So when his master is very much engaged, that is Socrates is occupied with interpreting philosophy based on human reasoning. Yeah, his master is that is Socrates, Plato's master Socrates. He is very much occupied with interpreting philosophy. Okay, just like interpreting. Now what I am I am not interpreting, I am just briefing it out, I am just exchanging my ideas, my understanding, my comprehension. Okay, because interpreting it is totally a different one. I am not the person who can do this job. I am just an ordinary layman. Okay, so when he is very much occupied, that is Socrates is occupied with his own philosophy based on human reasoning in interpreting how it could be applied. Okay, all those things, this man, that is Plato, the student of Socrates, he takes the philosophy of before Socratic period and Socratic's ethical theology. I insist theology, the word is insisted or highlighted. Okay, I give stress on theology because theology, to my understanding, it is the study of religion. Okay, so this man, he combines who, Plato. Okay, then the foundation of Plato's philosophy is threefolds. Okay, so the foundation of Plato's philosophy. So what this man Plato, he gives his philosophy is dialectics, ethics and physics. Okay, so these are the threefold in which this man, he gives his philosophy, just like how the people they were concerned about being or non-being, about universe, about max, about physics, metaphysics. Okay, like that. Here this man, he has got ethics, then what is that, dialects and physics. The central point of unison being the theory of forms. For him, the highest of forms was that of the good. Okay, uh, good. So highest, the thing that what his philosophy is good, being good. Okay, which he took as the cause of being and knowledge. Good, it is what he says as a cause, CAUSE, cause and effect. Okay, so as cause of being. Okay, nowadays no, not nowadays, you might have saw that being human. Okay, something like what postures on t-shirts or all those things. Okay, of the state. Okay, and knowledge, wisdom. Okay, so how this good can be taken into as the cause of being. Okay, the state and knowledge, whatever the knowledge has acquired, the wisdom has been bestowed. Okay, in physics he agreed with many Pythagorean views. Yeah, Pythagoras. Okay, related to mathematical field, whatever he says, the philosophy or whatever the theorem or the thing that he gives out, he agrees with Pythagoras related with physics. Okay, what sir, now we are saying physics and maths. I think you know very well that physics is the mother of science. Okay, I think maths also is the branch of physics. This is what is my belief. Okay, most of his work, especially his most famous work, The Republic, combine various aspects of ethics, political philosophy, and metaphysics, among others, into a systematic, meaningful, and applicable philosophy. Okay, everything he just puts the work in the name of a republic. Well, the word republic itself, it gives us a lot of understanding what it could be of, and as it is that according to our understanding, yes, ethics is there, political philosophy is there, metaphysics is there. Okay, and also a systematic, meaningful, and applicable philosophy is there. That is how to be good. Okay, and being good is the cause of your state and your knowledge, what the knowledge you get. Okay, now here Plato is complete according to the book, to me. Okay, and next one, Aristotle. I said that Aristotle we will see. Okay, what the thing that I read Aristotle is that he is the master of, do you know the great king? Okay, let me tell you, Alexander the Great. Yeah, Alexander is the student of Aristotle. Okay, that it came into my mind, and that's why I told you, when we just go by Aristotle, I will tell you about the thing that what I know. Okay, let us go by the book. Aristotle of Stagira Stagira is the name of the place where he is from, because Greek, it consists of lot of islands. Okay, and I think the person Zeno or Pythagoras, he is from the island Samoa. Okay, please don't think as samosa. Okay, it's not samosa, Samoa, the name of the island. Okay, it is a very big empire, Greek empire. So this man is from the one of the place Stagira, the most influential among the disciples of Plato. So Aristotle is student of Plato. See, now we have got master and the disciples. So Socrates, his disciple is Plato, and Plato's disciple is Aristotle. So what we come to know, that Aristotle is the student of Plato. Plato is the master of Aristotle. Am I confusing? Okay, let it. So we are in order. We are in order. In the order of the Socrates is master, and his disciple is Plato, and Plato's disciple is Aristotle. Very simple. Okay. The reading. His interpretation of things was more based on facts learned from the experience people would gain in their lives. Okay, so what are his interpretations? Who's Aristotle's? His interpretations were based on facts, that is the logic, okay, learned from the experience people would gain in their lives. Okay, so yeah, session, a video I made, like what is it, uh, mm, adage, maxim, like that. I don't know how many of you have gone through that one, and if you see that one means somewhat that video, it will be helpful for you guys to understand this. Okay, as we are I am running out of time. Okay, I have to finish. For these lines that I have read, that is what his interpretation of things was more based on facts learned from the experience people would gain in their lives, an approach that differed from that of his master, who preferred a perspective that was beyond the accessibility of the physical senses. He proved to be an imaginative writer. This is what his other contributions in the field. So up to the physical senses. Okay, if you just go through the video link that which I provided you earlier, like what is it, adage, maxim. Okay, this video, if you just go by that one means, you can understand this 1 2 3 4 lines more. Okay, as short of time, please you again go through that video, you will understand, inshallah. If not, please let me know. And now I will just continue the reading, and this thing, inshallah, I will brief it out. He proved to be an imaginative writer and equally creative polymath. Okay, gradually rewriting pre-established concepts in almost all areas of knowledge that he encountered. Okay, encounter. That is, he came face to face during his lifetime. Okay, that whatever he came to the areas of knowledge to know. Okay, what is that, he rewrite or pre-established that concepts. Okay, that is a philosophy who Aristotle. And also he is a very good imaginative writer and equally creative polymath. Okay, so these are what the qualities of the philosophers whom we have already mentioned before. Okay, at a time, that is, I am reading the book. At a time when human knowledge was still far too generalized, he broke down this knowledge into distinct categories such as ethics, biology, mathematics, and physics. Yeah, these were all are considered as one. Okay, in a single what is it, topic or single leader of philosophy. And now he just gives the categories. Okay, all that which were considered as one, a cluster. Okay, he breaks the cluster. Okay, and he gives different names such as biology, because that is a subject, then mathematics, physics. Okay, he gives them as a subject, and ethics is also is there. Ethics is considered as one of the major subject in engineering field, gentlemen, and that thing also he is the one who gives as a subject, a category of a philosophy, that which nowadays or which we try to learn. Sorry, we try to read and apply in our daily lives. Okay, and now, so classification pattern still used today. We might have learned while we were in schools. Yeah, biology subject is there, mathematics is there. Okay. Aristotle is truly a key figure in ancient Greek philosophy, whose influence went on to have an impact way beyond the bounds of ancient Greece. So, this man, Aristotle, if you see, means not alone on the Greek land, he had his influence. His influence was beyond the lands of Greece, and that makes him a way beyond, okay, a key figure in the Greek philosophy. Okay, that's why I told you that Socrates is great. Okay, there is no doubt, and he is greatest, something in the way that that way I comprehend. Okay, then comes Tales of Miletus gets, that is, Miletus is the name of the place, the top spot on this list for representing a pivotal point in ancient Greek philosophy, from which subsequent generations of famous thinkers, theorists, dialectists, metaphysicists, and philosophers sprouted. Okay, pivot, 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 the center point. Yeah, physics students, they know what the pivot means. Okay, the center point of ancient Greek philosophy. And not alone that he is the center point who tells, but also he is considered he is hailed among historians as the father of ancient Greek philosophy. The majority of Thales' ideologies come from Aristotle, who points to Thales as the first person to have investigated basic principles such as the origin of matter, the power. Thales is also said to be the founder of the school of natural philosophy. Okay, so he is not alone considered as a father of Greek philosophy, but also he is the founder of the school of natural philosophy. As a philosopher, Thales rarely confined his research to the limited area of contemporary knowledge and was actively engaged in understanding various aspects of knowledge such as philosophy, mathematics, science, and geography. Okay, so this man, he was also engaged in other subjects like mathematics, science, and geography, studying of what is it, the landscape is geography. Okay, in this also, sorry, in other than philosophy, in all this he was very much engaged. He proposed water as the basic underlying component of the world. Thales was highly esteemed among ancient Greeks, and his hypothesis usually added meaning and breadth to already existing ideas on nature. So this is what the second lesson, gentlemen, from the first unit. Hope you have enjoyed. Any questions, please raise. Thank you. See you. Bye.